Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Raider Rock Gym on the campus of Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida, for this presentation of high school basketball, boys basketball, between the Riverdale Raiders and the Clewiston Tigers. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. This is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play of tonight's action. We have the tip-off out at center court. Clewiston will win it as they move from left to right across your computer screen. Here in your first. Riverdale running from right to left. Very early on, 13 seconds in, Clewiston draws first blood, courtesy of a three-pointer from the top of the key, courtesy of Alonzo Wergelet. Right now, Riverdale trying to push it through the offensive end. Paul Johnson trying to get control of the ball in the key. However, his shot is an air ball that rolls out of play. There will be a foul called against Clewiston. Riverdale gets the ball back. Dante Quintella helps push the Riverdale Raiders to their first points of the ball game. From the point he scores, it is 3-2. He's able to cross right through the shooting lane there, as it's now 3-2, just underway here in your first minute of action. There's another three-pointer, my goodness, from Alonzo Wergelet. Once again, right on top of the key. He looks like he's going to be a nice threat here to the Raider defense very early on here in the game. And with that being said, it's time for your starting lineups of tonight's matchup. First for the visiting Tigers of Clewiston High School, number 2, Clementa Jones, followed up by number 4, Alonzo Wergelet, number 12, Tyron Richardson, number 20, Justin Eves, and Jaden Bryan wearing number 24. The head coach of the Tigers is Willie Lee in his third season with Clewiston. Another long-distance shot. Right from behind the baseline, it's Clementa Jones getting his first points of the ball game. Now 9-2, very early on. Daniel Byers putting in a nice three-pointer of his own, coming in towards the far side of the corner. It's 5-9. 5:57 left to play here in your first. You are listening to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Clewiston sporting their dark blue uniforms here in today's game as another long-distance shot comes through by Clementa Jones. This right here is a three-pointer team. Clewiston wearing white numbers on the front and back and dark blue pants. Three-point attempt coming up by Byers. He won't be able to make it happen as it's overthrown. We have a whistle as Riverdale is drawn up with a pushing foul. Down goes Clementa Jones into Clewiston end. However, he is able to get right back up without an injury, thank goodness. Now it's time for the Riverdale starting lineups. Number 2, Dante Quintella, followed up by number 12, Daniel Byers. Keyshawn Rowe wearing number 15. Paul Johnson sporting number 32 in the ball game. And Joseph Ojeda, finally, number 33 for the Raiders. And Riverdale, they are dressing in their home whites. Garnet red numbers on the front and back. White shorts with a garnet and gold stripe rolling down both sides. Keyshawn Rowe lobs up an attempt. It is underthrown. Clewiston turns it around. Near side, and there is Alonzo Wergelet sinking it out from way out in front of the Raider benches. The head coach of the Raiders is Ethan Lascaris. The first-year coach with the Raider varsity basketball team will call the first timeout of the night in the half for Riverdale. And this will be a full-minute timeout. Well, Clewiston, let me tell you something. They come into this game with a very impressive record. 6-2. Riverdale, they enter the game 2-10 on the overall win-loss record of 2016. And that right there is how they got their wins. Those three-pointers. They are way out high up at the key, going down to the corners. They're taking those 3-point attempts from just about anywhere. And the thing is they're being accurate with them as well. So that really tells you something about this Clewiston Ball Club. Riverdale, they're going to have to adjust fast. It's 15-5. Clewiston in the lead. 4:45 left here in your first quarter of play. Joseph Ojeda is the inbounder here for the Raiders. Quickly dishing it to the attacking end is Keyshawn Rowe. Rowe trades it back to Ojeda. Give and go coming to Dante Quintella. Trying to guard him is Clementa Jones. Crossfeed coming in here to Ojeda. His shot is blocked out of the way. Keyshawn Rowe tries to dish it back out top to Quintella. And here's another stoppage of play. The verdict will be an offensive foul against the Raiders. So Clewiston gets it back. Correction, this is going to go against Clewiston, the penalty, so Riverdale is going to inbound the ball. At first there was some confusion among the players out there on the court, but it is eventually resolved by the officials. Crossfeed coming from Byers here up along the near side. Crossfeed is going to go incomplete, intended to Dante Quintella. He cannot keep up with the ball, and it rolls out the plate to the front row as a result. Here in your first, we have exactly 4 minutes to spare. Raiders trailing by 10. Oh, and a nice double-team block coming up from Paul Johnson and Dante Quintella. As swerving his way deep into the shooting lane was Jones. There is a foul listed, so up comes Jones to the line. It's the first time that either one of these teams will head up for free throws. Jones starts as this one has too much mustard behind it. Jones gets the ball back from the official. Dribbles it, puts it up, shooting off the right hand, and that banks off the rim. Clewiston turns it back over in their favor. It's wheeled inside to Tyron Richardson, and he'll make it a 17-5 Clewiston advantage. Intercepted pass, and another block. How about that? It's Carson Palmquist sneaking right up behind Tyron Richardson trying to score a pair. And there's a foul against Palmquist. Carson Palmquist, you have to watch your back when you're stealing that ball away. It doesn't matter if you have a breakaway, 2 men in front of you, because Palmquist, he will sneak right up on you just like that. First shot, successful. Second one is exactly the same. Tyron Richardson goes 2 for 2 at the line. And that pair of attempts. Joseph Ojeda rushing across the center court line. And the officials stop the clock once again. Clewiston violation. So Riverdale tosses it back in. There's another massive block. Joseph Ojeda was trying to finger roll it in off of the right hand. Spiking it away was Jaden Bryan. Raiders rotating the ball high up at the key. Clewiston stealing it. Layup is good. Jaden Bryan. Ethan Lascaris, the Riverdale head coach, has seen enough. He calls a timeout. 3:08 left to play here in your first. 21-5. Clewiston is on top over Riverdale. 1 minute timeout. We'll take a quick break. Come back with more Raider baseball or basketball action. Riverdale baseball is around the corner, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Raider basketball resumes right after this. We resume action here from the Raider Rock Gym on the campus of Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida. It's the Raiders and Clewiston facing off here in boys varsity basketball action. 2:50 left to play here in your first. 5-21 is the score that Riverdale is trailing by. Nice crowd filed in on hand here at the Raider Rock Gym once again. If you'd like to come out to any of the Riverdale basketball action throughout the 2017 winter, admission is $5 to each regular season competition. The storyline for today's game are the recent struggles of Riverdale High School, as lobbing it up and in from the shooting lane is Clementa Jones. The Tigers are up by 18 points at the moment. Joseph Ojeda swerves the ball outside the Palmquist, who puts up 2 for the Raiders. Well, Riverdale comes into the game on the 6 contest losing streak, as Jones once again lights the ball up through the hoop. 25-7 is what the scoreboard reads at the moment. Clewiston, they're just carrying this game away right now. Once again, RHS comes in tonight on a 6-game losing streak, which began back on December 9th when Riverdale fell on the road to the Northport Bobcats by a 25-62 final score. In their previous matchup on January 3rd, the Raiders traveled to St. John Newman High School to take on the Celtics, but Newman dominated all game long and picked up a 66-41 victory. This Raider basketball program is struggling, but they are really working hard day in and day out to find that team chemistry and also to pick up their first victory of the new 2017 year. As we get back to action out on the court, Dante Quintella takes a pretty nice shove there down to the ground. He goes on his back. He will be helped up as Riverdale continues with the ball. Here's Quintella with it yet again. Tossing it back into play was Nelson Smith, who just came into the game moments ago for Joseph Ojeda. Carson Palmquist down low, left corner. Ball is spiked away by Brian of this Clewiston team. Now on the other hand, the Clewiston Tigers, they find themselves on a losing streak of 2 games, but they are a fantastic team that knows how to combine offense and defense. Big pass out to the center of the court. Dante Quintella trying to get to it. He takes another collision, that time with Clementa Jones trying to finesse the ball away. That will be a call against Clewiston, so here are the Raiders with it yet again. Raiders struggling to get to double digits by the end of the first. 25-7, Clewiston advantage. Now under 1 minute to play here in your first. There's a lob coming up there from Jonathan Penalver, who has now checked in for Paul Johnson, just on the previous stoppage of play. His shot will not make its way to the net. Officials say he was ran into by a Clewiston defender, which was Alonzo Wargalet. Inbounder is Carson Palmquist. Wild pass goes all the way back into the Raiders' defensive end and out of bounds. So here's Clewiston with the ball, trying to get back into that aggressive offense. There's a long one off the hands of Brian. Bounces off of the rim. Half a minute to spare here in quarter number 1. from the shooting lane. There's one off of the right hand coming from none other than Jonathan Penalver, standing in tall and slender to make the shot. That's point number 9 for the Raiders. They have one last rush, 1 second left. Big one coming from half court from Nelson Smith, and that does it for your first, as he will not be able to complete the shot. At the end of your first quarter of regulation, it's 25-9. Clewiston holding a massive lead over Riverdale. We'll see what the second quarter holds for us right after this from RHS. Quarter number 2 of tonight's basketball game is here, and it arrives with a 25-9 edge, with Clewiston on top over the Riverdale Raiders. Carson Palmquist trying to deal the ball out of their own zone, the Raiders' own zone, that is. Officials say he stepped out. Clewiston turns the ball over in their favor. Wasting no time to put the bucket in is Justin Eves. Right now, Riverdale, their main focus in the second quarter would be regaining communication in the offensive end. Right now, they have no problem getting the ball into the attacking end, but they need to communicate. We mentioned back in the first quarter, it's all about the team chemistry. If you can get good communication rolling between your teammates, that can really work wonders with your team, no matter what sport it may be. Getting out there on the court for the Raiders to start the second quarter is Dakari Calhoun. He sinks the shot from downtown. So Raiders finally get past double digits, down 12-27, 6:55 to play until halftime. Nice turnover there by Penalver, who then drops the layup. From half court. There's a nice sinking shot from Alonzo Wargol. He can't find the net. And right now, another thing that the Raiders need to do, don't panic right now over that scoreboard. We have a lot of basketball left to be played. There's Penalver with another two-pointer. They just need to take it one offensive drive at a time. They know how this Clewiston offense is working right now, so let's see if they can try to get a little bit of a game plan rolling up. Now there's a very controversial penalty going here against the Raiders. Some fans definitely did not approve of that. Dante Quintello is knocked down on his back. Up to the line is Alonzo Wargolet. First shot will not be able to make its way through the hoop. Well, anyways, the officials called that a defensive foul against Quintello. Second one is on the way. Through the hoop that goes. Now a 12-point difference here. Raiders still playing catch-up. They have yet to find a lead here in this game. One-on-one breakaway. Layup is good. Nice offensive attack there from Wargolet. Clewiston, they're finding points, and they're finding them fast. Another one from way out, courtesy of Nelson Smith. That bounces off the iron. Right now, the Raider bench, they're crying for a foul right now. Officials will not give them that. And now we will have a pause here in this game. Let's see if this is a foul. We have yet to get an announcement from the officials. No foul, no timeouts. Both teams just catching a quick breather here as Clewiston finally puts the ball back into live action. Jaden Bryan putting the ball in bounds. Here's Bryan with it right now. Tosses it back up to Richardson. Down to the left corner where Clementa Jones is standing. He won't be able to successfully put up a long shot. Nelson Smith trying to slow down the style of play here for the Raiders. He loses it. Coming away with it is Jaden Bryan, rather. And finally, after a nice draw there for the ball, it's out of play against Clewiston. Nice back and forth action we have had for a majority of this first half. 30-18, Clewiston is your score. 4:45 until halftime. Raiders now have 20 up on the board. Nelson Smith getting in there to take a short jumper. Dante Quintella just stripped the ball loose of Richardson's hands. Quintella gets it successfully down to left corner. Calhoun bounces it off the backboard all the way down to remainder of the court. No. Jumper attempt from Bryan will not work out in his favor. Back to the Raiders' offensive real estate. And there's a nice jumper coming from Carson Palmquist. It's now 30-22, and Clewiston has just called a 1-minute timeout. So right now it seems like Clewiston, they're starting to get a bit tired out. They came into this game with a lot of that aggressive power, shooting from all around their offensive territory. But right now, the Raiders are starting to catch up. We have ourselves a ball game again, folks. 8-point game. 10 seconds left here on this Clewiston timeout, which is their first of the half. So back out come the players. 4:01 to play here in half number one. Bryan carrying the ball across center court. He backs up, top of the key. Getting fancy with the dribbling. He crossed up. Oh my goodness, he crossed up the Riverdale defender, Nelson Smith. Lost control of his footing there, trying to get that ball away into his favor. And now the Raiders are going to be at fault here for a call. And a pair of free throws for Jaden Bryan. He'll nail the first one. Bryan's second shot is nothing but net. Clewiston puts their lead back up 10 points. So Riverdale back in that first quarter, they were a bit sluggish, having a hard time adjusting to the pace of this Clewiston ball club. They're catching up right now. And now there's a holding call coming in Clewiston's direction. So here's Quintella with it, center court. He's trying to keep this Riverdale team calm right now. Hands it off to Wilson Smith. Smith trades it back to Quintella. Smith, near side of the key. Quintella, ball in his hands yet again. Flung down to the right corner. That shot is incomplete from Dakari Calhoun, but Dante Quintella finishes the deal. He got a little close there. Across the baseline he goes. And there's another pair of points on the board for the Raiders. Clewiston has a hard time controlling it here. And the attacking end. Raiders back with it again. Penalver takes a seat on the bench here. in exchange for Keyshawn Rowe, who has finished his breather. He's back out on this Riverdale offense. Nelson Smith puts it in. Off to the left corner. He finds nothing but net. Dante Quintella getting active, puts it back in Riverdale's offensive favor. Keyshawn Rowe. In the paint, up and in. My goodness, what a ball game this is. 3-point difference with Clewiston still in the lead. Riverdale still looking for that initial lead. They have not found it yet in this ball game, but my goodness, they were looking like a changed team from that first quarter. Quintella guarding up on Alonzo Wargalet. And now, Clewiston has a violation. Raider ball. I believe that was a backcourt violation. Big mistake there on Wargalet. Had the ball in the Raider territory, but then he backed up trying to get away from Dante Quintella, who was putting in some nice blocking there. There's a three, courtesy of Dakari Calhoun. Tie game. 32 apiece, 90 seconds here in quarter number 2. The stakes just got that much higher. Dante Quintella to the bench. Blocking penalty here. Raiders are the guilty party. Right now, a pair of, or actually it's one shot to be exact here for Clewiston up at the line. Clementa Jones took it, bounces off the backboard, back out onto the court. Alonzo Wargalet relays it back outside to the corner. Jaden Bryan off to the near side. Clewiston regains the lead, 34-32. Scoring there was Justin Eves finding a way to sneak into the play there. Here's Ja'Cory Dickerson holding the ball. He just came in for Quintella, who just came to the bench. And right now, a lot of communication here between the Raider benches and the Riverdale players out on the court. Holding against Clewiston. Dakari Calhoun puts the ball back into play. Riverdale trying to attack. Right now, here's Dickerson. Tries to dribble the ball into Keyshawn Rowe, and he's touched up on there. So it's still Riverdale ball, even through the stoppage. Many of you regular listeners may be wondering about Deshaun Lane here in this ball game. He will not be a part of today's ball game. He has the day off. And that gives some of the other players on the Riverdale Ball Club a nice opportunity to get out there. Some of those players that may not be on the court as often as they maybe would like to, they're out there getting those opportunities. As Lane has the night off. Jaden Bryan, up to the line he goes. He only gets one shot accessible, but he can't sink it down. Joseph Ojeda getting to Smith. Smith, top of the key. His pass is intercepted out of bounds with 1.6 left here in your second quarter. Officials claim that it went off on Calhoun. Clewiston with it. 3 back from the Clewiston end. And that wraps up your first half of play. 32-34. Raiders down to the Clewiston Tigers. Raiders, they were really rebuilding after that first quarter. So we will have a 10-minute intermission. We'll come back with your third quarter in just moments. You are listening to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network, live from the Raider Rock Gym at RHS. Half number 2 of boys basketball action between Riverdale and Clewiston is here, and it consists of a 34-32 score going in Clewiston's direction. Thank you all for tuning into the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. This is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play action here of this nice competition. Dante Quintella able to scoop up the ball, and 20 seconds into this third, he will tie up the game 34-34. Right now, here's Clewiston with the ball. Nice downtown attempt coming there from Alonzo Wergelet off of the near side corner. Now, DeCorey Calhoun moves the opposite direction. He'll put up a long shot, but that won't get into the hoop either. Layup successful off of the right hand of Justin Eves. Here's Quintella with it yet again. Oh, there's a little bit of a miscommunication there. Joseph Ojeda was down right wing corner, and this pass went right into the hands of Jaden Bryant. Justin Eves getting an attempt in the paint. He's able to regain control, relays out the center court where Alonzo Wergelet is standing. Right now, Wergelet valuing his options across the zone. He'll take matters into his own hands, dishes it out to Richardson. It's swatted away. Dante Quintella, 2-on-1 advantage here for RHS. They can't capitalize. In fact, that nice scoring opportunity goes completely wrong as Clewiston takes it back off of a Riverdale penalty. Alonzo Wergelet throws it to Jaden Bryan. Far sideline. Puts one up. He can't find the rim. Oh, Joseph Ojeda was taking one from way out. It's blocked away by Justin Eves, but Ojeda regains control, gets across the baseline, sinks it through. We're tied yet again. 5:24 remaining here in your third. Incomplete pass by Jones goes out of play as he can't find anybody. So Quintella marches the Raider team into the offensive end. Paul Johnson spin shoots, but his attempt is denied by Wergelet. Wergelet shares the ball with Eves. Eves dribbling. Looking very patient, trying to slow down the pace of the contest. He drops down, gets a shot, and one. So it's Wergelet who is able to get that jumper there on the play. He has an opportunity to make a three-point play here, which would make this a difference of 3 points going to Clewiston. Wergelet does exactly that. Dante Quintella, as the point guard of the Riverdale team, he has a lot of pressure. He has the ball in his hands, probably more than any other player on this team, so he's responsible for making sure that ball doesn't get out of his hands when he's bringing it to attacking territory. Incomplete pass, out of bounds. It's Clewiston ball. Very fast-paced style of competition between these two. And the more close it gets on the scoreboard, the faster the pace is out on that court. Bouncing down on the ground is Warglet after a layup attempt. He can't find any points there, but he will step up to the line for two. Shot number one, no good. Daniel Byers steps into the game in exchange for Calhoun. Warglet goes 0 for 2. Raiders take it right back. 4:20 to go, and your third. Raiders hoping to come back down by 3. Byers slides it towards Ojeda. His layup, no good. Quintella gets the job done. 1 point game. He was right underneath the net, and he lobs it up. And complete pass comes back to the Raiders. Smith dips it over the Rowe. Rowe to Johnson. Johnson can't finish the play. Rowe steals it back. To Johnson. This is unbelievable. No points come to Riverdale. Man, this crowd, they were awestruck by that stellar style of offense there by Riverdale. But all of it ends up in a penalty coming to RHS. Clewiston will not get the free throw attempt. It's tossed in. Quintella steals it. Getting it right back is Warglet. Talk about the speed here from both teams. Jaden Bryan finishes it off. Right now, Jaden Bryan is all over Quintella. Being heavily blocked. Picked off pass. Warglet. Inside the paint pass to Richardson. He can't hold on to the ball. Exactly 3 minutes to play here. Quarter number 3. Clewiston is up by 3 points. A whole lot of threes. Quintella standing at the middle of the court, barking orders to his Raider teammates here on the offense. Johnson from the top of the key to Smith. Smith with a jumper there. On the inside right corner, no good. Pass is way short there from Warglet. Quintella with another attempt. He gets ran right into a brick wall. Justin Eves was able to block him without losing his balance. Doesn't make a difference either way. Raiders get the ball back after that collision and a whistle. Daniel Byers, the inbounder for Riverdale. Looks, tosses it high atop the action to Daniel Kaler, who gets into the game. Byers, incomplete pass. Oh, that was heading nowhere, right in front of the team benches, but nobody was there. It looked like Warglet actually had to step forward to pick it away, but officials kill the play right away. Clewiston is the guilty party of a call there. Still Riverdale's ball. Quintella being held up by Bryan. Bryan gets victorious out of that scrum. Riverdale able to save the ball. shot bounces off the rim. It was Penalver with the opportunity. Once again, it's that back and forth style of play. Right now, both teams are starting to struggle making those baskets. But there's Richardson hoping to end the series of unfortunate events for Clewiston. Their lead's now back up to 5. Palmquist gets a pair of opportunities. It results in a pair of points. He couldn't make it the first time around as the shot missed off the backboard. It gets right to him. Left-handed shot there to seal the deal. 1 minute left here in quarter number 3. Dante Quintella, huge pass here. Byers. Now it's Palmquist. Outside to Quintella. Byers is barely able to gain control of the ball. He has it stripped away by Alonzo Warglet. And it's penalty time. Once again, Clewiston gets written up there. Byers puts it into Palmquist. Palmquist with a layup. What a great play call that was. Byers sends it straight to Palmquist in a cross feed. Nobody could beat him to the net, but the rim itself. Raiders down by 1. 20 seconds here, and your third of 4. 8-minute quarters of regulation. Clock down to 10. Warglet wasting time. It looks like he's going to try to go for the last second shot from outside of the paint. He gets blocked up, lobs up a shot in desperation, can't find any luck. Heading into your fourth quarter of play, it's a 42-43 ball game. Raiders down by 1, still looking to find their first lead of the ball game, but this right here is nowhere close to over. We'll give you the start of the fourth. After this, you are listening to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Clewiston begins the fourth quarter of regulation with the ball as they move from right to left across your computer screen. And a 43-42 contest and Clewiston's advantage. A foul to Clewiston results in an offensive opportunity for the Raiders. Out comes Ja'Cory Dickerson to begin the fourth. Give and go here to Daniel Kaler. Up at the key, off to the near sideline. Officials blow the whistle. Raiders will keep the ball. Another call to Clewiston. It seems like that's what's really been hurting them here all throughout the course of this ball game. It's those penalties, and that's what Riverdale has been using to get this ball back, put those points up on the board, and now let's take a look at what happened out there. It appears that maybe a Tiger player stepped out of bounds. That's exactly the case. Byers putting the ball back out to the court. Palmquist goes upstairs to Kaler. Kaler, oh my goodness, he crossed up Clementa Jones. That got the crowd on their feet. It's stolen, layup and a dunk for the Clewiston Tigers. This crowd is blown away. Justin Eves, with both hands, puts it up over the rim. My goodness. Well, good day for Daniel Kaler getting active. But you know, I really think Eves just stole the show there on that play. He gets the basket, right to the rim he goes. No chance any Riverdale player could keep up with him there. And another two comes up for CHS. Jaden Bryan makes it 47-42. And right now the Raiders have 6 minutes and 47 seconds to get a game plan rolling here. That's how much time we have, I should say, to play here in regulation. Warglet. Cross feed to Richardson. Richardson back to Warglet. Warglet right up against the press table here, off to the near side. Ball gets right out of his hands and right out of the playing court. And right now, once again, these two teams, they're in a fast, heated style of play. And when that happens, you know, there are going to be moments where unfortunate events happen, where the ball comes out of your hands. You hear the crowd going crazy in the background. That's because Dante Quintella just made a phenomenal block and complete pass back to the Raider end. Nobody will be able to get to it. And Quintella was trying to make a move, but he won't get to the ball in time. So Clementa Jones has the job of throwing the ball back in, does so successfully, high up at the key, going to Warglet. Warglet, far sideline. Jumper by Richardson is interfered there. Oh my goodness, Quintella just avoided a hit. Talk about the dodge there. Keyshawn Rowe, jumper too far. Clewiston, opposite end, layup is good. There's Jones with the bucket. And Ethan Lascaris calls a timeout here for the Riverdale Raiders. That's what they need. They had something going into halftime. Quite a bit of momentum to work on with such a close game. Now 7-point lead here for CHS. And that's a good call there by Lascaris to call the timeout. A 1-minute timeout to be exact, and just get something drawn up here with his teammates. This right here has been one heck of a ball game, and the Raiders, you could tell right here, this is a talented team. Once again, they come into the game on a 6-game losing streak, but they're not playing in it. They come into the game with a 2-win, 10-loss record. They're not looking like a 2-10 team. They're looking like a fierce competitor right now with the 6-2 Clewiston Tigers. So looking at the paper of this game and the stats, you would have thought, hey, Clewiston, they would have blown this game out of the water. But you know what? That's not the case one bit. And you know, Riverdale, they have a lot of time left. 5:33 and counting as the ball comes back in to Dante Quintella. 49-42 once again, make that 49-44. Quintella with the score. And one, as he took a hit after the initial shot. Quintella can't make the three-point play. Carson Palmquist gathers control. His shot rolls out of play. Dakari Calhoun has the ball to start off this offensive play for the Raiders, so it looks like that was another foul against Clewiston, which is why Palmquist took a crazy out-of-control shot. And now the ball is going back in the Raiders' direction after an RHS player took a hit there. So right now, here's Quintella. Quintella has the ball swiped by Jaden Bryan. No one will be able to touch up on it as it hits the red paint outside of the Raider court. Calhoun back in. He finds Keyshawn Rowe. Quintella for the three. Won't find net. That's an air ball out of play. And you know, every time you have an air ball or any type of turnover, that really kills the momentum. I know it sounds obvious, but right now we are coming down to crunch time here in this ball game between Riverdale and Clewiston. The Tigers up with a score that reads 49-44. 4 minutes 50 seconds to play in the game. So right now Riverdale, they really need to get just their style of play together here. Jumper from the baseline. That will not result in any points there from Clewiston, as putting the ball up into the air was Alonzo Wargolet. Pulling up for a shot was Calhoun, and that just made its way all around the rim and back into the hands of the Clewiston basketball team. 4 minutes now reads the fourth quarter clock. Alonzo Wargolet gets tripped up there by Nelson Smith, and Smith is going to pay for that one. Clewiston with it. Clementa Jones passing the ball onto the court just in front of the Clewiston benches, which is off to the left side of my broadcast position. Off to the right side are the Riverdale benches, where right now head coach Lascaris looks on, coaching this team, and he hopes he's coaching them to victory. That's for sure in such a tightly contested ball game. Clementa Jones puts a pair on the board. Palmquist does exactly that moments later for the Raiders. Thank you all for listening in to the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network throughout the course of tonight's game. Nick Rush giving you the call. What a fun game it's been here at RHS. Many Clewiston fans have made the trip out to support their team, and they have to be pleased with how their team has been fighting hard here. Riverdale timeout on the way. It's the second of the half, fourth of the game as a whole. This will be only half a minute here, so just a quick breather will be taken here by the Raiders. And a brief message from Lascaris. And right now, head coach Willie Lee doing exactly that for Clewiston. Head coach Lee for the Tigers, once again in his third season of coaching this team. However, he did step away from coaching Clewiston last year. And Clewiston, if you compare their stats to last season, they are looking a lot better than last season. They finished off 2015-2016 basketball regular season with a 6-14 overall record. It is clear that head coach Lee is showing what he is capable of as a leader, because this team looks like it is taking a dramatic change for the better. These teams, they really are no strangers to each other, as they actually did play earlier on this season. In fact, it was back on December 1st when the Tigers defeated Riverdale by a 49-39 outcome in a game that occurred over in Clewiston, which is off to the west side of Riverdale High School. Just almost an hour out to be exact. Jaden Bryan puts up two for Clewiston. 53-46, Tigers lead. 2:13 in the ball game. Windmill on the way from Ja'Cory Dickerson. That right there is a money ball. Wargolet directs the ball out the center court. Exactly 2 minutes to spare in this ball game. Block shot. It's a score and one for Tyron Richardson. Ja'Cory Dickerson got in the way of Richardson there. Not too happy with the call of that, but he really put in the effort. But the shot rolled right in, and Richardson hoping to find a three-point play right here. It's up and in. 12-point differential here between the leading Tigers and Riverdale. And now Riverdale gets drawn up here for an elbowing. That's actually going to be Clewiston. Excuse me there. Riverdale's still with it. Incomplete shot coming up on the way there from Jonathan Penalver. And now the ball is in Clewiston's possession as the officials state that a Riverdale player, which was Penalver, dropped out of play. Clementa Jones is dancing all around right now in the Clewiston offensive end. You could tell this team is taking a comfortable lead, the Tigers, so with exactly 90 seconds left, we have a whistle. Riverdale is the guilty party of a penalty here. Clewiston will inbound it from back behind the attacking net. Well, right now, exactly 90 seconds left, 12-point game. Make it an 18-point game. Scoring there was Jaden Bryan with the finger roll off the right hand. So right now, you can bet that this team, they just want to kill time. That's all Clewiston wants to do. Keep the ball out of the hands of the Raiders. And now Riverdale is going to call a timeout here. So right now we have a discussion at the scorer's table. The ball just went into the hoop for Clewiston moments ago. That would make it 58-48. However, right now there's some debate at the scorer's table on just the scoring of this game, and the scoreboard will be updated. 10-point lead here for Clewiston. 1:22 left to play, and with this stoppage, we will tell you about these two teams, where they will be heading next. On the Riverdale schedule, their next game will be Thursday, January 12th on the road as they take on the Lightning of Lehigh Senior High School. That game begins at 7:30 p.m. Clewiston, they will hit the road as well. On Tuesday, January 10th, they will head up to Moore-Haven High School to take on the Terriers. That game has a tip-off of 6:30 p.m. Daniel Byers with it. Raiders, they're just trying to pat this deficit right now. Clewiston comes away with it. Out of control pass from Warglet. Heads back to the Raiders. Exactly 1 minute remains. And here comes the countdown. Clewiston fans begin to rise to their feet. Dropped inside the paint there for Penalver. He gets one chance, he can't put it in. A second one, and it is denied. Tyron Richardson getting the right hand, smacking it away. Daniel Byers puts it back in for RHS. Down to the left corner, Daniel Byers. Long shot. That puts the Raiders down 51-58. Layup complete from Richardson. 20 seconds left here in this ball game. Sliding across the court is Dante Quintella. He just launched the ball towards the hoop, but he fell right down. Took a nice slide there behind the attacking net as well. He heads up to the line for 2 free throw shots. First one banks off the iron. Shot number 2. That doesn't get in. Penalver bounces, shoots, scores. 12 seconds left. And another blow of the whistle. Clewiston loses control of the ball. Here's Riverdale as RHS just tossed it back into play. Big chase for the ball. Back in the Raiders' zone, and it doesn't matter. Tonight's ball game is over. Friday night basketball at Raider Rock Gym on the campus of Riverdale High School results in a 60-53 Clewiston Tiger win over the Riverdale Raiders. Well, what a ball game it's been tonight, folks. We thank you for tuning in on what has been a very exciting ball game. Raiders' losing streak now bounces up to 7 games. They are now down to a 2-11 overall win-loss record. 7-2 are now the Clewiston Tigers as a result of this win. Fans, once again, we appreciate you all for tuning into tonight's ball game. This has been Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play action, saying thanks again and so long from the Raider Rock Gym on the campus of Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida. Have a great rest of your Friday night and a great remainder to your weekend.